Hey guys, Regina here for your well lesson this week. I'm super excited to be able to close out this month talking about hope. I know throughout this whole month we've learned about how hope is not in our circumstances, but our hope's in the Lord. And then for Easter week, we learned about how we can expect the unexpected things that God has for us, that all the unexpected is right around the corner, and that we have the redemption power of Jesus Christ that lives in us, which is super awesome and something that we should hold on to, especially during this kind of crazy time that is happening. And then last week we learned about how God is always with us, even in our disappointments, even when things aren't going exactly the way we planned them. God is still in the midst of that. So that's super awesome as well. So I get to wrap everything up. I know it's been really awesome, really crazy to have the well via Zoom and having lessons online, but honestly, I really appreciated it to be able to see all of you guys at one time. Because been with U City for a little while in the mornings, and it was usually just like a couple of people. And now being at the Shaw campus, shout out to Shaw campus. Then I've only worked with a couple of people there as well. So it's really awesome to be able to see all you guys, see all your faces for the week, and just hear about what's going on in your life and how God's moving in your life. So let's get to it. So let's talk about the hope that you're having currently in this season of your life. I know that we've talked a lot about like different scriptures and stuff that is pointing our hope to the Lord, but also I just kind of want to wrap everything up and talk about what your hope is for yourself and in your life, and how God is going to use your gifts and your skills and all those things to work together for the purpose that He has and the destiny that He has for you. So I wish we were all together today so that we could do that together, to do a vision board and dream boards together. But since we can't, I just wanted to kind of walk you through what that looks like and how you're supposed to put your vision board together. Then we can talk about it on Sunday when we get together, and you guys can either show us some of your goals and your visions that you have for the 4 different sections that I'm going to talk about. Or you can just talk about it. Just share a little bit about what some of your goals and what God has put on your heart for you to do over your life. Habakkuk 2:2 talks about writing the vision and making it plain. And the reason why we do that is because if you have something that you're working towards, it is easier if you see it every single day, or if you read it every single day. At my job, we talk about true statements, or like reading God's word over yourself, like things that you struggle with, or things that you need to be reminded of about the Lord. And so that's kind of what doing a vision board is all about. Doing a vision board is really allowing yourself to visually put out what your hopes and your dreams and what your goals are for your life, and to be able to see those and pray over those things. Okay, so let's start with section 1. Section 1, I want you to think about what are the hopes that you have and the dreams and the visions you have for this time right now. What are your goals for this season of your life? While it's super crazy and things don't look exactly the way we anticipated them to look in the beginning of the year, what are some things and some goals that you have for yourself? Like for me, for example, I know when we first started Catalyst back in January, we talked about our word for the year. And my word for the year is intentionality. Being very intentional in my relationships. And while I can't see people, like how can I be intentional to interact with people and still make them feel loved and appreciated, even though I can't see them face to face? Another one of my goals for this year for this season of my life is to make sure I'm using my time wisely as well. So that's like finishing a book that I started back in January that I have yet to finish, because sometimes I'm a slacker. But also like just being intentional with my time with the Lord too. Like this is really a season where I can dig deeper and learn more about who God is, but not only who God is, but who He created me to be as well. So what are my things? What do I like? What do I not like? What's really important to me? And like in this season, that's really what we can find out about ourselves. What's really important to you? Are you a type of person who really enjoys like hanging out with other people? How can you create different ways to be able to do that right now? Are you doing FaceTime calls with your friends? Are you hanging out with like your family? Are you enjoying the time that you have with your family that you wouldn't necessarily normally get because everybody's at home? Also, recognize that your vision and your dreams aren't going to necessarily look like everybody else's. So maybe for you, you won't need to take like a lot of responsibility for your schoolwork. Maybe it's hard for you to get motivation. I have hard times building up motivation for things that I know that I need to do, but I just don't want to. Like yesterday when I went running, didn't want to do it, but I did it anyway because I know it's good for me. But what about you? Are you doing like your assignments like you're supposed to be doing? It's not always easy to find that motivation when you're not surrounded by your teacher or your classmates who are doing the same stuff. But are you taking the time to be intentional in your work and what you're learning? Like, that's a really big deal. So yeah, are you taking that? So what I want you to do is I want you to find like a magazine or different like words, or like you can draw things if you're an artist like that. Those are not my skill sets, but if it is yours, then you can put some things together, like pictures of what you want your quarantine time to look like. Do you want it to be a focus on your family? Do you want it to be a focus on your education? Do you want it to be a focus on your time with the Lord to really seek Him out in a new and deeper level? Are you going to increase your prayer time? Like, are you going to spend time in the mornings or in the evenings designated just specifically for you and Jesus? So think about that, pray about that, and that's section number 1. So for section 2, here's what I want you to do. If you are in middle school, I want you to think about your middle school life, and I want you to think about, like, in this time, what are you wanting? What have you wanted as yourself, like as you as a person? What are the characteristics that you want people to remember you by? What are your goals for these couple of years that you're in middle school? Do you want to get involved in something new? Do you want to try a new hobby of yours? Like, write those things down. Put them out. Put like little pictures of things that you really enjoy. On Friday, I will post something about like a specific vision board, so you guys can see what I'm talking about as well. But what does that look like for you? If you're in high school, what about your high school life? If you're getting close to the end, what were your dreams and your visions, and what are the things that you even accomplished while you were in high school, which is super awesome. It was such a cool time, even in my own life. And so write those things down. That'll be section number 2. Section 3, I want you, if you're in middle school, to think about your high school. What do you want high school to look like? What are the kind of activities you want to be involved in? What do you feel like are your giftings? What do you think that God has really gifted you with? And how are ways that you can incorporate that into your high school journey? Do you want to go on like different like missions trips, like high school mission trips? Like, those are such a cool time. Do you want to go to like different camps or the conferences, like the Believe conference that we went to, which was super awesome, and would really love for a lot of you guys to come with us next year because it was super great. But what are some of those things that you want on your bucket list for high school? If you are in middle school, right? So for section 3, here's what I want you to do. If you are a middle schooler, I want you to think about your high school life. Kind of what I was just talking about with the high schoolers for right now. What are the things that you want to get accomplished? What are the things that you see for your future for high school? And if you are in high school right now, think about college. Where do you want to go to college? Do you want to go to college? Is that something that you feel like is on the next path for you, or are you going to be doing something else with your life? What are those next 4 years of your life going to look like? And then for the 4th and final one, I want you all, everybody who is doing the dream and vision board, I want you all to really think about what are some overall goals that you want to go to, or what you want to do. I would love to go on a mission trip someday. I went on mission trips when I was in high school, but I just think I'm in such a different place in my life and can recognize things a lot more. So I would really love to go and enjoy a mission trip with a group of people right now in this age of my life. So that's one of the things that I want, and that's on my bucket list for my life. What kind of trips do you guys want to take? Are you a traveler? Do you want to travel the world? I think it's really important to really think about what you want your life to be shaped like? What do you feel like God is really directing to you towards? What career path he's directing you towards? I thought when I was younger that I was going to be a high school English teacher. And while that is not the plan that is happening in my world right now, I am a teacher, just in a very different way. And so I love the fact that the Lord can still use my passions and create them for what his purpose is and not necessarily what I thought I was going to be doing. But yeah, that is the vision board. I really, really encourage all of you. Also, leadership, you too. Make a vision board. Write your visions. Make it plain. Super important. What are your hopes and your dreams for yourself too that we can share with each other on Sunday? I'm super excited. Love seeing all your faces. It is not always something that I get to see on a regular basis on Sundays. So this is actually kind of nice for me to be able to hang out and see you guys and learn a little bit more about who you are. So here's to the end of our hope journey for this month. I've enjoyed listening to you guys, and I've enjoyed hearing just everybody's different perspectives too on what their hopes are and how we can find hope in the Lord. Love ya.